keynote speaker. Next one is from Folkefinans. We have Martin Holmin. Bring him on! Martin!
Thank you. Morning. Gotta get this one. Hey, everybody. So, just need to get my bearings right. So, speed is serious business. Our previous speakers, they share a lot of vision and experience. My talk is more binary. It's more spot on. We're going to talk about one thing. It's speed on the web. For those who don't know me, Martin Holmin. I'm from Stockholm. I've been building the web since 1994. For some reason, I had the confidence to say that, yeah, sure, I can build your website. But there wasn't any sort of training before. I had no clue. But I managed to do it. And I've been doing it since then. Today, I'm the CTO at Folkefinans, a Norwegian financial company. I would say it's a very mature title, but I'm still sort of trying to stick to the trade. So for that, I'm advising ad visits. They're here today regarding technical matters. And from time to time, I try to dig down deep and get into some real coding. Thank you, Google, for giving me the opportunity to be here. You probably expected someone from Google to be in this talk, but rest assured, what I've been doing together with ad visits and Folkefinans latest year has been a collaborative effort with Google. So I'm going to share a lot of insights from the Google team or their mobile team. 3 topics: the importance of mobile speed, and sort of what business value can you generate by lowering or speeding up your site. I'm going to go into accelerated mobile pages, just so you get a sort of brief understanding of what accelerated mobile pages is. It's a technology that I really enjoy working with, and it shows results. I'm going to show you some real-world examples, both from Folkefinans and also other brands that are using AMP to sort of speed up their mobile initiative. So, let's get started. Yeah, just before we go into this one, most of the figures I will show here is probably something you already know. I mean, you're the pros. I'm just a dev. So, but actually, speed is the single biggest driver of engagement on the web. So Google asked 600 people what they think is the most annoying thing when they're browsing the web on their mobile. And almost half said it was waiting for the page to load. It's even more annoying than ads. So that's something to think about. Why you should take mobile speed seriously. So this is also from Google. They measured the landing pages from AdWords mobile campaigns, around 1 million pages, and over 126 countries, so it should be should give you a good picture on what it actually means. So, if page load time goes from 1 second to 3 seconds. The probability of a bounce increases 32%. And you can probably read the numbers yourself, but adding to this, that 70% of all websites here loads in more than 10 seconds. So that's what sort of experiencing ordinary websites on a cell phone, they usually take around 10 seconds to load. I know that we're good here in Sweden. We usually have faster sites, but there are a lot of examples of sites, or really successful sites, that could gain a lot by reducing the speed just by 20%. So, some other metrics from various sources. 1 second delay in load time can result in around 8% increase in bounce rate. A little bit similar to the previous ones, different source here. A 7% decrease in conversions. A 2.1 decrease in cart size. That's money. And a 16% decrease in customer satisfaction. Just some figures to get you thinking. This is from Ericsson. It's actually a little bit fun. I don't really understand the problem with solving mathematical problems, but for some people that's obviously compared to watching a horror movie. So, if the stress caused by waiting for your cell phone to load is compared to these two things, and it's a better experience than standing in line in a grocery store, speed is something you should think about. Some general figures around speed. 47% of consumers expect a web page to load in 2 seconds or less. That's not really happening right now, but the customer is always right. 40% abandon a website that takes more than 3 seconds to load. Yeah, might be true. Might not. 79% of shoppers who are disappointed with website performance are less likely to buy from the same site again. So, business impact. This one is fairly known brands and how speed impacts their result. Google, if they see less searches, of course, they don't make as much money as they do. Amazon, 100 milliseconds faster is 1% more revenue. Shopzilla, I don't know so much about Shopzilla. You probably know more about that one than I do. 5 seconds faster equals 25 more page view, 7 to 12% more revenue. And Yahoo, they want to show ads. So 400 milliseconds faster equals 9% more traffic. I'm not going to bore you with more numbers. I think you get the picture by now. Anyone that don't get the picture? Please raise a hand. I don't really see the next slide here, and I haven't rehearsed this too many times, so hopefully I have time the next slide. So, what's your target? What should you do to actually lower the site speed? I normally, as a dev, I don't recommend that target for 2 seconds. Take your current experience and try to shave off 20%. That's a really good start. But if you want a number, who better than the god of e-commerce to get an answer? Jeff. That one is pretty hard. Everyone know Jeff Bezos? He's the CEO of Amazon. I call him e-commerce god. So, accelerated mobile pages. It's an open source project. It's started at Google. It now has around 1,500 developers active. And what AMP gives you is a way to quickly build websites that are enhanced for mobile. And it does this in 3 different ways. It simplifies the pages. You use less markup, less JavaScript. Taking away JavaScript is, in my opinion, a good thing. You can still run JavaScript on AMP pages, but they are in a plugin manner, so they're all based on best practices. You can't put in, okay, I need React and I need jQuery and I need another framework to do this Facebook pop-up window, and it shaves off 2 seconds on your load time. You can't do that with AMP. It's bandwidth optimized. If you have a category listing with 100 products, do you want to spend time loading the images that you don't see on the screen? All images or asset loading in AMP is asynchronous, so you only load the parts that are in the viewport. If your AMP page validates against the Google rules, then you'll get the benefit of being in the Google cache. And this is a really good one. Apart from shaving off infrastructure costs, because Google takes the first hit to your site, it can also, the experience will just be better for the end user. And of course, this is part of enhancing the Google experience. They want to move further down the line. So if you search for, let's say, Malmö FF Swedish champions, and how many of you have seen this? There's a little flashy thing next to the highlighted answer. Can we do some hand raising? How many of you know what this actually means? Wow. I'm in the forefront. Sorry. I'll take it from the beginning. This means that this is an AMP page. It's going to be served by Google. So let's take, do you mind if I look at the big screen? No, great. So step 1, I Google eBay and drones. I'm a total geek. I have drones. I fly them when it's illegal. Now it's not illegal anymore, so. But yeah, common topic, my place. First response is eBay and the drones category, or camera drones category. If you look at the second image, check the URL field. Anyone see something strange? No? It's a Google URL. So the first hit here is sub 1 second. It serves directly. It's really great user experience. Third image, I click the parrot drone. Then I'm in the sort of parrot selection of on eBay.com, and I can continue my journey. Some other examples for e-commerce. We have WeGo. They are flight booking service. They use AMP. They are even doing dynamic data in the Google cache. So even though Google cached their landing page, they can do dynamic data in that area. Eventbrite, you'll know that one. One of my favorite courses, actually. It was in Malmö, so I couldn't join. AliExpress, also a good place for drone stuff. And Nordic Feel, that's a good one. You can hear more about it in the afternoon if you visit one of the visits symposiums. So this is not This is new, but it's not entirely new. eBay, they have around 15 million AMP pages. These are pretty late figures, but AMP powers more than 2 billion pages on the web, more than 900,000 domains. So, back to my day job. Monetti is one of our brands in Folkefinans. We do short-term loans. It's a very conversion-oriented business. You can get the full Google case study if you just search for Think with Google and Monetti. But some objectives from the Monetti side. This is something that we did together with ad visits and Folkefinans and Google. So, of course, from a company's perspective, we don't really care about how long it takes for the site to load. Our objective number one is always going to be the most important one. But me being one of the tech guys, it's nice to shave off a few seconds here and there. So optimize for the conversion rate, reduce mobile site loading time. And how did we do? I would have I'll probably put like a big bang on this slide. It looks a little bit dull, I know that, but this is actually pretty good figures. So, AdWords conversions grew by 19%, and we did A/B testing in AdWords for this. Page load time was reduced by 84%, and this was already a pretty fast site. I know because I built it. So, what did we learn here? Using AMP for landing pages, it's going to give you great results. Just do it. Conversion. Yeah, that one too. 1 and 2, you can stack those together. I think it's just big thumbs up there for conversion. So, even though your site loads in 4 seconds, it was more like 3, I would say. There is scope for improvement. So, how do you get started with this? Start with your own site. Try it out. Test it. There's a really nice little tool at testmysite.withgoogle.com. It will run all the tests to how can you optimize your current experience. It's well worth doing that. Just 10% increase in speed will show in your figures. Read more about AMP. It's a really simple project to get started with, because it doesn't add any complexity. It takes away complexity. So the AMP project and the Google-provided ampstart.com, it will give you templates to start out with. If you're doing just a few pages to try out, you can probably find the resources you need on the ampstart.com. So, want to see more today? I'm going to be at the Visits Symposium, room 310, I guess. 12 o'clock and 12:30. I'm going to show you some hands-on demos. But I'm probably mostly going to let the CEO of Visits, Leif, speak at that point. Thank you for having me.
Martin Holmin, thank you. Go to our lovely, competent, fantastic, young-looking, vibrant, moisturized panel. Any questions?
Can I sit here?
I did a Google search for SMS loan.
Yeah.
I guess that's an important keyword for you.
Yeah, sure. It's an important keyword, but a little bit dated, I would say. But yeah, it used to be an important.
And you have a few brands in Sweden. You have Monetti, you have Frogtail, you have another, maybe more.
I think Monetti and Frogtail is the current active brands in Sweden right now.
And the AMP seems to be live on Monetti, but not on Frogtail, according to the organic searches. how do you see if you use AMP for, you see it clearly if it's an organic search result, you see the flash.
Yep.
But how do you see it if it's in Google AdWords? Because you talked only about improvement in Google AdWords rather than organic searches.
Well, Google AdWords is a really, really simple way of testing out these things.
Yeah.
We definitely see an improvement in the organic searches as well, because your quality score goes up, or the relevance goes up, because you shave out a lot of unnecessary things. So you will see organic gains from using AMP. Although AMP itself, according to Google, is not a ranking factor at the moment. But you will get sort of synergy effects on the organic searches.
Okay.
Okay. I can have a question. Yeah. So basically, Google and even Facebook have been pushing AMP since September last year, right?
Yep.
But still, there is a very small fraction of the Nordic e-commerce community that have actually adapted the technology. Yep. What do you think is the biggest role, from your perspective at least?
Well, dynamic data has been the biggest hurdle. You're normally afraid of the cache if you hand out a product page to Google and you can't invalidate that. I think that's something that people are scared of. But now with the latest sort of AMP releases, you can do dynamic data from the Google cache. So that's probably one of the reasons. That was the biggest sort of release that needed to happen before e-commerce could be a viable thing.
Yeah, one of my CIOs is actually arguing that the AMP technology is probably not going to be the standard probably 2-3 years from now. Do you agree with that, or do you think? I mean, you're a CTO, so you. Well,
there's always. I mean, AMP itself is it's a best practice of building a really fast experience.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't say you can build a really fast experience by just using standard HTML components and JavaScript, as long as you're really conservative of what you actually bring into the stack. So I don't see them. I think AMP is a really good way of starting. The Google cache is a huge benefit that you can't really get anywhere else if you don't embrace AMP. So.
Cool. Lena, any questions?
Yeah, actually moving away from AMP as this. See that's been covered.
I'm the geek, so that's fine.
No, that's fine. I'll take another role. But being the CTO for obviously a technology-driven company with high-margin transactions, are there any other challenges that you currently face that you're working on?
Sorry, say again?
Are there other challenges that you currently face?
Oh, well...
Because I'm sure there's lots.
Yeah, there's a lot. So I divide my time between sort of our front-end stack and what the customer sees. But I guess the bigger challenges I face on a daily basis is sort of running banking systems. It's a bit different. It's more low-level. But from a CTO perspective and Folkefinans, AMP is the way we're gonna go with all our brands. It's a no-brainer, because we also speed up the development process, because we don't build unnecessary complex stuff.
Cool. Tobias, any follow-up questions?
Questions?
You seem to be somewhere completely different right now.
No, I'm just waiting. I'm just a nice guy. I'm waiting for you, because you have the competence. Actually, I have one question for you. What does your bird say on your T-shirt? I think everyone wonders.
Yeah, it says... Oh, you can read it yourself.
Because I've been staring at it all day. Can I say that out loud? You fucked the planet.
Yeah, the bird is saying it.
That's the biggest question for me. I'm satisfied now. I can go home. I just said you F something and a little bird. What's that? That's interesting.
Yeah, I think you should take care of the environment and not hurt the birds.
Good thinking. So I'm done. If you're done, round of applause.
Thank you very
Martin
much.
Holmin.